Hey, good morning, TruckOrTrack.com family. You know, it's a beautiful day here in Kentucky. Fall is right around the corner. The leaves are starting to turn. Let's put a spreader together today. Let's put a TGS03 together and see what we can get into. So let's do it. Hey, good morning guys. So we're gonna put a spreader together today. I've never put a TGS03 together. I'm straight up, I usually sit in the office, I'm not gonna lie about it. And we're going to walk through putting that together. Now, it's gonna be a lot of noise today. We got a lot of guys in the shop doing stuff. They're putting a 22-foot bed on the truck. Aaron's handing out drumstick ice creams. It's 8:15 in the morning and the guys are having ice cream drumsticks. Awesome. So let's jump on this fork truck while Aaron's got everybody over there eating ice cream and go out here and pick up a TGS03. All right, so Aaron's having his drumstick, breakfast drumstick. Colin, no drumstick?
No, I'm good.
Okay, Colin said no drumstick this morning. So we're gonna put the TGS03 together, and this is the truck we're gonna put it on. Aaron's working on the snowplow install up here in this bay. Chris is in the back working on a 22-foot flatbed that we're installing. We do a lot of flatbeds. So we're gonna walk over here and look at the TGS03. We're gonna do an unboxing and see how it would come. You can go on TruckOrTrack.com right now. You can get all the specs and information, everything about that. I'll put a link for that in the description. And I also will put a link in for the TGS07. Now, the main difference between the 07 and the 03 is just about size. The 07 is quite a bit larger. Again, you can go to the link and look at the sizing and everything. Main thing, small thing, but the 03 does not come with a vibrator. The 07 does. So it's bigger and comes with a vibrator. Other little quinky dink is they're almost the same price, but it's about availability as well. Right now, the 07s are a little bit harder to get. The 03s, we actually have quite a few in the warehouse in stock, but this guy wanted it. One other little thing about the 03 is it's a little bit smaller, so one man can pick it up and actually manhandle it. The 07, it takes two people to pick an 07 up. And if an 07 ever flips over anything, it's so heavy it will kind of tear itself up, like as in the spinner and the motor and all that kind of stuff. Of course, the top's poly, so you're not going to tear that up. But I'll put the 03 and the 07 both in the link so you guys can go on TruckOrTrack.com. We have great descriptions on those. A little side note, the 07, I think the 03 do. They do colors. They're $100 more. Guys, I'm not gonna be honest with you. I've never really saw the appeal of the colors. I'm fine with black. I don't need to pay $100 more to have red or yellow. So anyway, just my opinion. So let's take a look at this, unbox it, and put it together and see what happens. Now, this is exactly how it will come to you guys. It'll be on a pallet, it'll be shrink wrapped, it'll be on a pallet with shrink wrap. That's how they ship. They don't ship on UPS. They're a little bit too heavy for that. So this is exactly how you would get it if you ordered it on TruckOrTrack.com. Now my knife is very dull. I do that so I don't get cut. So. All right guys, so we got the shrink wrap off. Pretty simple. Took my dull knife. Even a dull knife can open it up. So as we walk around it, as you can see, TGS03, salt or sand, auger. Little hint of salt or sand, it's 50-50 mix. You can't just put all sand in this. It won't auger it out. It's 50-50, and to be honest with you, it needs to be more like 60-40. It needs to be more salt than sand. Sand is just like a filler. It's not really, you know, it helps break it up a little bit, but the salt does all the work. But this will not do 100% sand. It's gonna be like 40%. So anyway, this is what the bad boy will look like. Looks like to me it took a little hit in shipping. So anyway, let's look inside and see what's in there. That was a big zoom up on my face. Okay, so we got all the wiring and all that stuff in one bag with all the hardware and stuff. We'll lay that right there. We got the lid is in there, but it's in there pretty good. I'll have to get some help maybe. Here's the deflector. Here's the bump bar. And then here's the cradle and then the spreader itself. So about 1, 2, 3, and I just got cut 4, 5, 6 pieces. And right there is a big burr on the inside of that, so be careful, folks. This may get a little, on these soft hands, you may get a cut. All right, guys, so we've got it unboxed. I actually found the spinner in there, so that adds to another piece. As you can tell, for the most part, everything is pretty much put together. Now, I'm gonna walk over and ask Aaron, because I've never put one of these together before, absolutely never. I am gonna read the directions. I used to shoot these videos where I would throw the directions away because men don't need directions, but I don't know what I'm doing on this, so I'm definitely gonna get a direction. So, let me ask Aaron a question. Aaron, would it be easier for me to put this together in the receiver hitch?
Yes.
Okay. So, Aaron just said yes. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna unbox the directions. I'm gonna get a tiny stool to set on because I'm lazy. No, because it's down low. And we're gonna start building this thing and we're gonna put it together in the receiver hitch of the truck. So we're gonna build it from there. So, you know, first thing we're gonna do more than likely is put the frame piece in, you know, first and build it from there. So let's set up over here and see what we can do. And by the way, this, I don't know exactly, oh. Hopefully this guy recycles because he's got a lot of trash in the back of his truck. What we do when we build trucks here, remember this video is just gonna be about the TGS03 and assembling it. Now, we have a rule. We always put everything that comes off the truck. What I'm trying to say is Aaron's doing the plow mount right now while I'm doing the spreader in the back. But we put all the pieces back in the trucks. And you're like, why do you do that for? Well, we paid a lot of money for losing pieces. So like we would take a battery box top off and they lay it over there and you get in a hurry and they forget. And then next thing you know, it's gone and I got to go to the dealership and buy one. So all parts stay in the truck. So what I'm gonna do is take this grill, set it in here. He's got the cowl and the radiator cowl and all that. And we'll get to work on that. So remember that rule. Take something off the truck, either put it in the cab or put it in the back. It will save you money in the long run because you won't lose nothing and you'll be able to see what came off the truck. Just a little side note there. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, I know that this is gonna set on the bumper. That's what it's designed to do, to take the weight of the load of it. But I'm gonna build it a little bit out. By the way, if you guys think I don't ever get dirty, get some of that. But I'm gonna leave it extended out a little bit so I got a little room to work. Main sprayer wiring harness. Battery, battery hookup. Does come with the circuit breaker. Controller. Back in the day, we used to not mount these. My watch is coming undone. We used not to mount the controllers in the trucks because people complained about where we would mount them or screwing in. We will probably just leave this laying in his truck and let him or the customer screw that in to wherever they want. That way we don't get in trouble for damaging their truck. All right, empty bag. A lot of bolts and nuts and instructions. All right, guys, so two things. One, when me and Aaron, you're gonna have to have somebody help you pick it up. It's so awkward, it's so heavy on the motor end that it almost flipped in my hands when I tried to pick it up by myself. So, the other thing is they're taking a washer on the outside, and Aaron's gonna pick it up. What?
You're in the fourth hole over here.
Fourth hole. So what Aaron did was he tilted it back for me so we could get it in the hole. So we put one bolt in, he tilted it back because this has got to lay on this. This has got to lay on this. It's like the adjustment. Now we may have to move it again. I'm not going to tighten anything up right now, and I'm not going to put the old anti-seize on it just yet either because I don't want anti-seize all over everything. So Aaron's my model. He's modeling everything.
Looking good.
Looking good. Looking good. All right. So.
All right. They can't go nowhere now.
She is up there. Now it's still.
You want a little bit of a lean toward the back, just a little, not a lot.
Aaron says we need a little bit of lean towards the back. I'm looking there right now. That sucker, that thing's ready to flop. It's ready to get you. So all 4 bolts in there. Make a buddy. Get your friend up there. So we did step 1, 2, 3. So washer on the outside, washer on the inside, lock nut, 1/2-inch bolts, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, if I make a mistake, you guys can surely put a comment in there and weigh me out. Okay, step 5 is going to be the long bolts. That's going to be the adjustment here in the back. And we got a long bolt, flat washer, flange nut, which is going to go against that. And then flat washer, and lock nut. So definitely these long ones. Alright guys, so we got number 5 done, and I hope I got the washers in the right place. It doesn't really say, but I would like to have the washers where I put them, because this is going to kind of push on the other pieces, and I kind of want that supported. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. It does say in 6 to tighten the spreader to 10 to 15 foot-pounds, and then tighten the upper frame upright, finally tighten nuts located beneath the frame. They must look like shown in figure 6 after procedure attach the truck, securely the bumper. So it's saying, I read that kind of fast, it's wanting me to set it on the bumper of the truck and then tighten those 2 pieces up, and that'll pull it tight against the bumper. The other thing, like Aaron was saying, we want it on the bumper, but we want a little bit of a tilt to it so that salt is naturally feeding to the back of the truck. So, totally get that. I always like to look ahead. Then next we're gonna put on the chute and the bar assembly. Alright guys, so it was break time, and I had to run up front and grab a little something to eat. Does your family ever buy that huge box of crackers? It's got like 10 different kinds of crackers in it. Then they only eat the good crackers, and then they leave like 8 boxes of the nasty crackers in the pantry, and you're too cheap to throw them away, so I started eating the cheap crackers, or the bad crackers. I don't know what crackers I just ate for break, but they were nasty. But I had some really good summer sausage put on top of them, so it helped. Let's put it that way. Problem number 2. What I'm fighting right now is this thing's got so much powder coat on it. Number 1 problem. So I got the receiver hitch, I got the adapter, and I got this full of powder coat, and I'm trying to run a really tight locking pin through there, and it's not working. So I was trying to do it by myself. I was kind of fighting it. I'm gonna get Aaron up here to help line me up. It's gonna need another 2 people on that, and we're gonna pop that pin through so I can lock it all the time. The other thing that's kind of fighting is that it's got to be on the bumper a little bit to help support the weight of the spreader. So you take all those things and put them together. It's like 5 things trying to get in line to make one thing happen. So I'm gonna get Aaron and we'll have him get this pin in, because I don't want to skip a step. I want to keep moving forward and doing it the right way instead of having to go back and try to, you know, fix something. So let me get Aaron and see what we can do. right, guys, so we got the pin in. So what do we have to do? We had to grind the pin. We had to get a lineup bar. I had to get Aaron. It took a lot. It's kind of on here on the bumper. To be honest, I wish it was back about another pinhole, but I got to be able to work on it and put it together. And let's be honest, it's going to be in the 70s, low 80s for the next month. So he's going to take it back off the truck. But we got it on here, and that's the way we want it. So we finally got that pin in. Pretty big booger bear. I think between the powder coat and the adapter, that was what was really hurting us. Got to make a friend there, get some help. So moving on, thank you to Aaron for helping me do that. Moving on to step 7, we're going to add the shield to the trough bracket. I love the trough bracket. And we're going to put the bolts through the bottom. Again, the flat washers, it shows more flat washers than it's pointing out in the picture. I don't know, it's kind of weird. Let's give it a shot. Let's put the lower shield on. And again, we're back to this this washer debacle. You know, the only thing is, if I run out of washers, I can go up front and get more stainless steel washers out of the bolt bin, but you guys aren't gonna have that option. I don't like this washers situation. Joey's walking around in the background. He won't say that, he just walked up front. He's angry all the time. Okay guys, so we have got figure 7. Moving on to 8, which is the bar. 9's gonna be a spinner and 10's gonna be the latches. I will admit the directions aren't too bad. So looking at the bar, gonna bolt on like this. You know, it'd be cool if it both like slid in there and bolted on, but apparently that's not gonna happen. That's no bueno. And back to the washer dilemma. Where do the washers go? Last but not least, we're going to put the top on. So pretty simple. The latches come in their own little box. The only thing we've got left over is this hitch pin. It did come with a hitch pin, which is awesome, but we're not going to need it. And we've got the anti-seize and we got the top. So I'm going to set the top up here. I'm going to do it, and then fast forward for a second. So in the tub, there's threads. So I gotta thread this in there, which I just dropped one in the freaking bottom of this stupid thing. I gotta dig it out. And then this is threaded. So I'm threading into a threaded nutsert, and then I'm threading into this. It makes no sense. It makes no sense! But I'm gonna do it, and I'm pissed off because I dropped that one in there. Back to fast forward. All right, guys, after being mad for about 10 minutes, here's the deal. So, you would think this would be so simple. So if you take this bolt, you stick it back here, and you stick it in. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to see that it doesn't come all the way out. Fantastic. So on this side, I took a drill bit, and I drilled the hole out bigger, and it actually sticks out now. Did it take very long to do? No. Do I think I should have had to do that? No.
The guy just took the pins off because he was afraid they would fall off on the way up here. So he's got it nice.
They just paid something over the PA. So I took a drill bit, about the same size as the hole, and drilled out a little bit to get the bolt to go through. Should that be happening? No. And it wasn't that hard to do either, like something was jammed up in there, but it's on both sides. So anyway, let's continue and see what else we're running into. Okay, that worked. So drilling it out, which I shouldn't have to do, and then taping it to the end of the Allen wrench worked great. Don't over torque them, because when you see them, they're cast right down the middle, and if you over torque them, it'll split in two every time. So, whew, man, I was hot on that one. But anyway, we're getting there. All right, guys, so we have put the TGS03 completely together. Now, I'm not going to shoot a video on how to wire it because this video seemed like, to me, it took a long time, though I'm going to edit it really good and cut some of the stuff out. The last thing we did was put a sticker on the back, and you saw me take a torch and burn the back of the plastic. The reason I do that is not to heat it up, is because everything that is injected molded has a layer of silicone on the outside of it. That's what lets it release or not bond to the molding unit. So that silicone has to be burnt off. That can happen over time. I mean, after years and years and years of silicone being out in the sun or washing and all that, it'll finally come off. But it does take a long time. But if you take a torch, heat it, you'll see it actually burn off, and you can put a sticker on. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the camera running, and you guys can watch me finish putting all this together in high speed mode. I'll put a link to the TGS03 and TGS07 down in the description. Hey, take a second, hit that like and share button. Go down and make a comment. Excuse me. I know I made some mistakes, but go on there, be kind. It's the first TGS03 I put together. It wasn't that bad. I didn't like having to drill out the holes to put the lid on and putting the pin in, you know, going through the receiver hitch, through the adapter, through the powder coat in the pin, and the pin was tight. That wasn't that much fun, but hey, we got it. With basic hand tools, you can put this together in your driveway, not a problem whatsoever. The next thing I'm going to do, once I get this far, Aaron's going to do the wiring on it. We'll do a video on that some other time. I'm going to put a snowplow together with a wing kit. Never done that either, but we're going to give it a shot. So hey, Like and share, hit that subscribe button, hit us up anytime at TruckOrTrack.com. Remember, if you begin with me, I may not be the best, but I'm pretty handy. I'll help you out. We'll see you out there.